Hello, guys. Welcome to this new episode 15 of Chasing the Deal. Today, we are going to analyze property, an investment for a commercial property in one of the, well, I will say it's not a main market, it's a mid market, but it's a very important city for the US because it's the capital of America, of the US. So we are going to analyze an investment into an industrial property in Washington, D.C. So stay tuned to find out and see how the deal goes. So let me show you this screen for CoStar. For those of you who have watched my this chasing the deal before, you may already know about this software. It's a property intelligence software. Uh, Let me just adjust the screen. Okay. Yeah, this is a property intelligence software. And here you can have all the data all over the US for, let me see, let me show you guys. Um, okay, let me show you. So here in CoStar, you can see all the US, all the markets on the US. This time, let me show you which markets I can see here. I'm going to refresh the screen so you can see all the dots, and all those dots are the markets you can analyze with this information on this software. For example, we have all over Texas, all over the Southwest markets, all over the Northeast markets, the Midwest and the East and the West markets. Okay. So for all these markets, we have data like inventory, like under construction square feet, like absorption and vacancy rates. So this is a very powerful software. This is a very powerful software. What you do is invest in commercial property. It is not for single family house. It's only for commercial. So you can see here information like office types of properties. You can also see like for industrial properties, retail, multifamily, student, hospitality, even hospitality. Okay, so this is just for the market information, but you can find any other kind of properties like self storage or maybe even churches and government buildings. Everything you can think about it, you can find it here in Costa. So this time we just want to find industrial buildings, industrial market information on Washington, D.C. So that's where we are clicking right now. So let me show you my internet. It's kind of lagging. I hope you guys can see me. Um, just let me know if my screen freezes because I have new internet. I just moved and uh, some I don't know why this is kind of laggy, but okay. Let me show you. Okay, I'm gonna reduce the screen so you can see these KPIs. I hope you guys can see all these KPIs that are the first number you can see. Okay, okay. The first number you can see at the top of the screen, it's the inventory. So this market, it's 325 million square feet industrial inventory. Okay, so you can see the arrow heading up here. So that means it went up. The inventory, it went up from last year. Actually, it went up 26%. So that means 7 million square feet added to the actual inventory from the last from a year ago, which was 317 million. Usually, all the cities, all the markets, the inventory usually goes up unless you have more demolitions than new buildings. So that will decrease the inventory, but the usual thing is to go up. So then we have this number under construction, and here we can see a little bit of slowdown on the construction. We have 23 millions right now under construction, and last year we had uh, 23 million. Well, we have 22.9 millions, and last year we had 23.3 millions. So it went up slightly from the last year. It went down, excuse me. Um, and also we have here the net absorption. The net absorption is basically the difference of tenants moving out and tenants moving in this market. So we have so new tenants on the market. That's basically the number. Okay, so we have right here uh, net absorption dropping from the last year, but still positive, uh, from 8 million to 8.5 million to 6.4 million, more or less. And we had a negative change here, but even that we have, even though we have the a positive absorption number, and we can say for the vacancy rate, we have a 6.1%. It's not that bad. I think it's a good number. It's not that high percentage of vacancy rate. I think average national it's around 9% or 7%. I don't remember, but we have a slightly increase on the vacancy rate from the last from a year ago. And we also have this number for the market asking rate. This is average market rate, because even if we are talking about industrial types of buildings, uh, we may have different numbers in rents depending on the type of the building. We have the class of the building. We have class A that they basically new buildings, new big buildings located in the main highways or the main streets of that market. And then we have the class B and class C properties that are usually all buildings located in not very favorable locations. Okay, so that's the difference in rents. So we get an average, and we get almost $20 per square feet. And then we have also the market sale price per square feet that is actually uh, same as the market asking rate. It's an average. So we have different kind of transactions, but as we can figure out many things just looking at these numbers. So if we look at these numbers, 262 uh, per square feet, that's the sale price of industrial buildings. That tells me that this is probably a market for, let's say, on the industrial list will be big players. Okay, big players purchasing and selling big buildings. Okay, we are talking about 100,000 and over square feet industrial buildings. That will be in logistics or specialty buildings. Okay, so that means that price is usually for the newer and bigger buildings. Okay, but for older buildings and smaller buildings, that will be around, I think, less than 100 per square feet. Okay, so this is probably a market for big players in new buildings new construction. Okay, so we also see cap rate, a cap rate here, and we see in line with this number that this is the price per square feet. We see we usually see compressed or lower cap rates because these are new buildings, yeah, and are usually they have small cap rates. You know, smaller the cap rate, that means you get less dollars for your investment, and that means that must be a safer investment. Okay, so that means maybe a class A building, maybe with good tenants, good and big credit tenants. Okay, so we are talking probably, just looking at this number, we are talking about a class A tenant market for industrial. But let's read some more data here. And here we have a summary for the market. For example, it says in this summary that logistic demand has slowed nationally. That's not something just for Washington, D.C. This is for national because of the tariffs, you already know. But let me see. Logistics annual absorption as the second quarter of 26 1.8 million square feet compared to 3 year average of 1.5. So even the demand has slowed nationally. Washington absorbed a little bit more for logistics. Okay, so that's a good thing. Okay, so the availability for logistics is about 9.3% compared to 10.8%. So almost 2 points below national. So that means it's better than national in logistics availability. Okay, so I wouldn't say this is a logistics market. Okay, I would say in the Northeast, more logistics market would be maybe New York, maybe Pennsylvania or something else, more close to the East Coast. But who knows? Maybe you have some logistics space here. So the flex space, um, specialized availability, uh, which includes data centers, it's 1.9%. So we start uncovering some data here. Why we see these numbers for high numbers for market price per square feet and the compressed cap rates? Maybe because of this, because of the data centers. So if you guys are kind of techy guys or you work at the tech sector, you are maybe software developer or something like that, you may already know that there are many data centers on the Northeast. Okay, so and many data centers are close to Washington and also in the northern Virginia area. Okay, and these are more the most expensive data center. For example, in Amazon Web Services, I remember, I'm not an expert in that, but I remember the last time I see the northern Virginia fees for the AWS were the highest. Okay, so that means we have data centers market here. Maybe something that it's pulling up the market. Then we have the flex space that remain in display stable with the availability of 9.8, which is high. I would say that is high. Why we would see? Well, let me see. It's high, but nationally it's higher according to this. But in some markets, like for example Dallas, flex space availability is around say 6%. So I will say it's high compared to main markets like Dallas, for example. Uh, so that may be because Washington D.C. Economy is very attached to the government spending. Okay, and you may already know that this administration has uh, cut some budget from some agencies. They are laying off many employees, so that this is affecting the economy, and this is affecting when talking about the industrial real estate. This is affecting mostly the flex spaces, okay? Because flex spaces, for those who watch this program, already know that flex spaces serves the most of this retail market. I would, it's not retail, but it's the, the housing market. If you have more houses being built, or people moving into a specific area of a city, then you follow up with some flex spaces, because flex spaces tenants are more likely to be service business, like construction, like physicians, like dentists, like I don't know, all these people that serve these people moving in. These kind of business are flex spaces. Okay, so that may be a reason, I guess, because we have we start we are starting in to pencil out some how the Washington D.C. economy looks like. So for one side, we have the big guys with the big players with the big data centers, okay, where we have a compressed cap rate and high sale prices per square feet, and then we have the flex spaces that are suffering because the employees are moving out from Washington, or maybe they stopped spending because they were fired from their jobs. Okay, so we start to see two sides of the story. Okay, you got it. Okay, so let me show you. Um, I don't want to take too long. Showing these market numbers. But here we have some comparisons numbers between this local market and the national market. For example, the market asking rent here it's 19.34, so it's above the national average. Okay, so usually that's usual for the Northeast or the West Coast market. They are usually higher, okay, than the national average. But also we see the vacancy lower than the national average. That the national average, that's interesting, okay. So vacant space, square feet, availability, we have less availability than the national market, okay. Months of market, we see 8 months of market, which is high. Maybe because the economy is not good or not very good, or maybe because uh, these spaces are big, and finding a tenant for these spaces, it's not fast. But also, let me tell you something. As if you watch the last episode of Chasing the Deal, we already uh, analyzed build to suit properties. Okay, so uh, build to suit properties, these data centers, most data centers are being built with a build to suit. uh, business model. Okay, so that may be uh, something that affects this number. Okay, because you you may be counting the start date on the market from the beginning of the construction, but the reality it is that it was leased before you start construction. Okay, so that may be something that it's affecting this number and it's making it higher. Okay, so the other thing it's because we touched and we analyzed the build to suit last time. I don't want to analyze again build to suit, even if I know this is the hottest market here in Dallas. In Dallas, excuse me, uh, in Washington. Okay, so I guess I we will analyze the flex, even if the flex is not going so good because people is moving out. Remember, bad times are the best times to purchase. Okay, you don't want to purchase in good times. Okay, you want to purchase in bad times because you want to purchase cheap. Okay, because remember, you make money in real estate when you buy, not when you sell. Okay, so if you have patience, you can get a good deal and then sell it in maybe 3 or 5 years from now. Okay, so that's where we are going to analyze this episode. Okay, so let me show you a little bit more of data. I don't want you to get bored with this. So average, let me see, inventory you see here, 325 million square feet under construction, delivered. This is the buildings that got built and made available. Okay, sales 416 transactions. It's not bad. Market cap rate 6.8. Okay, vacancies we can see here more K performance indicators. Okay, and we can see this bar with the range. The lowest range it was in 2021, 3/4, and the highest range was in 2017. Okay, so right now we are here at the right end. Okay, at the high end. Okay, market asking rent, cap rate. Let me see, leasing, absorption, vacancies. You can see, for example, here the vacancies. Here it's gonna rise, and if we invest here in 2026, second quarter or first quarter, then we are gonna see the vacancies rise. So we have to take it into account. Okay, but since the vacancy rises, maybe the prices go down. So we could see the top or the bottom of the prices right here in 2027, beginnings of 2027. Okay, so we are still in a good time to buy cheap. Okay, and also, guys, if you follow me, uh, you know that I have very good. At least it's my hypothesis. Um, it's that everyone is talking right now that the rising prices of the gas and the oil and the economy is going bad and all these kind of things that are happening around the world. But I have this hypothesis that during from the mid of this year to the beginning in 2027, we are going to start to see the recovery because of the plans of the administration, specifically the Genius Act. if you want to know more about that, you can follow me on Instagram. I can on Instagram. I'll tell you all these kind of conspiracy theories, if you will, But those kind of things I talk about in Instagram. So the thing is, with the Genius Act, they will issue stable coins. So these stable coins are going to start spreading all around the world, and that will make rates to go down. Okay, rates to go down, and also inflation will go down. Okay, because the government will be able to print more money without creating inflation. Okay, so if you want to know more about this, you can follow me on Instagram. My hashtag is my I don't know how you call that. It's the nearshoring. I think it's nearshoring thing. I just forgot. Nearshoring thing. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram. So absorption 26. You see, absorption is declining until the end of 26, and then going up for 27. So that means we are still in good times. Okay. The only thing is for Washington specifically, maybe the bad times will going to get a little bit longer because the plans for the administration to cut spending it's going to be over until 2028. Okay, at least. Okay, hopefully the new president will have another new plans for the economy, and they don't good spending. Hopefully, I say, because I also invest in affordable housing, and they already spent the Section 8 program. Excuse me, they already caught the Section 8 program, so uh, no good, no bueno. Okay, so okay, vacancy rate. We can see vacancies. March 26, 6%. Availability. Here you can see this a strange thing here, because our most of the market availability on flex space is lower than the other types of buildings like specialized and logistics. Usually flex space will be around here or on the lower. Okay, so that means this specialized is included on the data centers, so that stronger the theory that this market is good for data centers. But again, I'm not going to analyze, because I analyzed last time for the data centers for the build to suit. Okay. Uh, by the way, if you want to see the last live, you can go to my YouTube channel, and there you will have the complete list of my lives. Okay, so construction, deliveries, sales. Okay, so let's go check. I think we already pencil out how the market will look like. Okay, well, population change again. This is what I was telling to you guys. It's not only me that is forecasting this. It's coastal people. They are forecasting population change. You see the decrease until 2028, and then 2028, once we have a new administration, we may see people start moving in again to Washington. So at least we should hold 2 years if we are going to invest in a flex space here, to see people moving in. and then flex spaces, vacancies going down, cap rates also going down, rents going up, and or pocket getting a little bit fatty, or I don't know how you say, fat, okay, or bigger. Okay, outstanding delinquent. Okay, okay, guys, let me show you. Let me show you. Um, Let me show you. Where is? Let me show you what properties we are going to. Now we go for the properties for sale. Okay. So what's the strategy? We are going. Let me show you. Washington, D.C. We are going to look for flex space. Flex space. No, this is sale comps. I don't want sale comps. I want for sale. Oh, this is the thing I don't like from CoStar. That it clears every time I choose a new market or a new tab. So Washington, DC, and then property type, flex, and then uh, let's say 20 to 50K. Okay, so first, guys, I want to show you something. Because the flex is very dependent on residential, okay? I haven't showed you this before, but I'm gonna show you a trick here. I'm gonna search on Zillow, Washington. Okay. Let me share my screen with you guys. Okay, let me share. Let me share. How do I change my screen? Replace. Okay. So I'm gonna show you this trick, guys. Here is Zillow. You see, and we are looking for houses on Washington. We want to see where the new houses are being built. Okay, so what we are going to do is listing type new construction. Okay, new construction, and or I remember I could search by new developments, but I don't know how to do it here. I pretty much remember apartments manufacturer that I was able to search for new developments. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's just choose new housing and home type only houses. Okay, all the houses for sale, price, not price, and then new construction. Okay, new construction, property status. Okay, okay, so here we see where is the path of growth for Washington. So here we see new construction here. I don't know. I don't know if this is really new construction. Let me put more filters here, like year built from 2023. There is Oscillo year built, let's say from 2024. Okay. Okay, so now we have new construction. There's a lot of new construction. Okay. So we have two choices here. Most of new construction, I don't know why it's on the downtown of Washington. Here, this, let me see. So, okay. What we are looking is new developments. Okay, so for example, here we have a lot of new construction in the 495, okay, in this area. So we will be looking because we also want fresh land, okay? We want land that is cheap for fresh space. So here we may have some opportunity for cheap buildings. So let's look for something around this area. So let me replace. North Virginia. Okay. Let me see. So now we choose in an area here. I think it was close to here. Okay. Let me see again. Was it 66 and 495? Okay. 66 and 495. Where is the 495, guys? Okay. Okay. Right here. So this area, we must look for something. So flex spaces. So close to that area, close to this let me go a little bit bigger if I can find something. Okay. So if we want to invest in this area, in the west of the Washington, we have these options, okay, for flex spaces. We have this one. This one is under contract. Okay, let's analyze. Let's put it on the options, just because we are just analyzing, and then maybe what you may not know, guys, it's Many properties get under contract, but the buyer, many times they are not able to get financing. So we, if we are really interested in some property, uh, if it's under contract, that doesn't mean it's out of the market. Okay, so let's put this as the first option. It has 31 square feet. Okay, I want to know where it was built. I mean, when? 2007. And then we have this built in 1988. Okay, light distribution, just 2 weeks on the market. So that's our second option here. Okay, and then we have, let me see, then we have this one. I like ugly properties because this one, let me see. Oh, it's ugly. Then this is a little bit more. It's a little bit bigger. But let's choose these three properties to the west because are close to the 66 highway. Okay, so we are a good access to Washington D.C. And then let me see. Actually, for flex spaces, it's not very, not that important to look for the connections with other cities. Okay, but it's more important that it's close to homes, to new homes. Okay, but it's good to know what options or what access we have from those points. Okay, so we have this one, and oh no, oh, I lost it. Yeah, we have these three. Okay, so option number one, we have this one. It's 14526 Lee Road. It is an investment property built on 2007. Here you see it is not, it is only 13% leased. 13%. So that means maybe have 80 spaces, or let me see how much to, like 7 or 8 spaces. Okay, and only one space is rented out. Okay, so option number one, Lee Road. Option number two, Wellington Road. So Wellington Road, it's 25,000 square feet and built in 1988. And the last one, third option, is the Sealer Road. It's for sale. The first two are not disclosed the price, and the third one, it's for sale for 2 million. It's 22,800 square feet total, and was built in 1950. Okay, so which one, guys, you want me to analyze? Okay, so let's open the poll, and you comment on YouTube, on LinkedIn, or wherever you are watching me, or in Facebook. You can comment with the option you want me to analyze. So this one, it's the Lee Road. The second one, the Lee Road, it's 31,000 square feet, built in 2007. Maybe the roof is a little bit newer if they didn't replace it yet. And then second option, Wellington Road, for 25,000 square feet, built in 1988. And the last one is a single road for 22,000 square feet, built in 1950, asking 2 million, guys. Okay, So let me know what you think. So give me, you can comment on, I will see your comments here on which one you want me to analyze. Okay. So first one, Lee Road, 31,000 square feet, built in 2007. Second, Wellington Road, built in 1988. Okay. Okay. So we have, I think we have a winner. So we are going to choose the single row. Okay, which is the only one, by the way, that the price is disclosed. Okay, so let's see some information. The first thing, to be honest, one of the first things, to be honest, I look to when I'm analyzing a property is how long is it being seated on the market. Okay, so this one is sit more than 1 year. We know by the market research on CoStar that properties at least take 8 or 9 months to sell. Okay, I don't remember if it was to sell or to lease, but they are very similar numbers. Let me see if I can see here. Inventory. Here in the analytics tab, we can see more accurate data for this property because it filters up for example, we see a market rent number in the market research, in the market report, but we then see here in 1 to 3 stars. And we see 1 to 3 star market rent, which is kind of this property, it's $15 per square feet. Okay. This property, it's $17.63 per square feet. And the sub market, it's $14.70 per square feet. Okay. So, okay, here we have it. We have it. I was looking for how long does it takes to sell, the average months to sell, but here this should work also. 6 months leasing probability 50%. So that means we have a coin. We can throw a coin and 50% we sell it before 6 months and 50% we sell it before after 6 months. Let me see if I can see that number here. Occupancy, availability, market, asking rent. I can see it here, but let's say it will be more or less like daily asking, say, yeah, like 10 months. Okay, so probability of selling before. Why this is important? Because uh, we want to see if the property it's not selling because it's the average on the market, but it's not selling because maybe the price is too high or the property is too bad. Okay, it has deferred by 10, so I don't know what. Okay, so price per square feet $86. You remember on the gross numbers on the market was 200 and 60 something no something dollars. Okay, so this that's what I told you. For older properties, you see smaller numbers per square feet. Okay, 86 because it's older, but it's yeah. Let me see. It's old. It's 1950. Okay, so let me show you some pictures. This is the property. It looks like a house. This one, the backside, or maybe an office. Okay, where is the property? I think this. Let me see what it's white. I guess this is the one. The roof looks not that bad. I don't see any AC units, but maybe on the first floor, on the ground. Okay, we see here the side plan. This is the lot. Probably we will not be able to build more. If we want to make some kind of expansion, we will not be able because apparently we are maybe in this area we can build something, but it depends on the floor area ratio. So that's part of the due diligence when um, you enter into contract with one property. You have to write an option clause because you have to make so many due diligence, and it usually takes months, especially for commercial. The bank asks you for some environmental reports and kinds of things like that, and also you have to research about the financials, the legal, and everything. So it usually takes more. Maybe we can do something here. So if we want to expand, but that's something we should do on the due diligence period. Okay, co-star. So let me see. They are asking 2 millions. So for example, let me analytics. If we see the analytics, let's look. This looks like it's not list. It's a vacant property or it's one tenant property. It's too small. So inventory market cap rate for this 7 star, it's 7.1. Okay, it's a little bit lower or compressed that what we see for the flex properties. So it should be, I think it's a little bit overpriced because we see on the market report higher like 9%, and there's this one, it's 7.1%. I think it's too much. Okay. Typical floor, classing. I'm trying to find if it's, yeah, it's multi-tenant. It's not owner occupied. It doesn't look like it's an investment property, so that means it's not cash flowing. So that will be better to negotiate because if it's not cash flowing, you know, you can negotiate seller financing and other things because it's a liability to the seller. If the property is cash flowing, it's mostly an asset, especially for these old properties that are being sold by an owner. They are usually are paid off, so they are not paying any loan. You're looking for something that it's uh, more like a liability for the owner or for the seller to have negotiation power. Okay, so this looks like it's vacant. You can see here. Okay, let me just double check on the marketing flyer. You may not see this one, but I promise I will not take too long. Manufacturing area, column spacing, ceiling. I don't know if it's one level or two levels. It looks like two levels. Property assembling. Yeah, it looks like it's vacant, guys. So let's calculate a fast, fast number here. So markets. Where is the analytics? Okay, financials. It has no financials. These financials, it's market financials. Okay, base rent 16, effective gross income. Total operating net operating income 14. So here for the market in 2025, they say for a base rate of $16, they have $14 net profit. Okay, but here in the analytics, we can see 14, $17. So we have a slightly below market rent for the sub market. It's so let's take this number for net operating income a little bit lower. So let's say we have $14 net operating income. Okay, so then we multiply $14, 14 by 22,887, and that is the annual income. Okay, and then we have $320,000 annual income, annual net operating income. So if we go for, I don't think this, another thing, you cannot pay the same market cap rate for a vacant property than for a cash flowing property. So if this is not cash flowing, I would put at least a 9% cap rate. Okay, so if we divide by 9%, okay, it would go to 3.5 million. Okay, this property. Again, we are making a lot of assumption. We are not sure about the rent because we assume the rent was 14. But let's say we have $10 net operating income, and see how the numbers work, change. Okay, $10 net operating income times the net rentable area, which is 2288 888 square feet, and then that number is 228,000. We multiply, we divide by 9% cap rate, and that comes to 2.5 million. So with a net operating income of $10, okay, subtracting all costs of the property, and with a cap rate of 9%, that price comes to 2.5 million, which I think is more realistic. But again, we should do, to price the property, we should do cash flow analysis. Okay, we should do a present value analysis, and we should take into account how long the property will be vacant, how much are the expenses we have to make before put the property to service, because maybe we have to replace the roof because it's too old. Maybe the property has no AC, because I didn't see any unit on the roof. So for me, it's not too crazy, that price. It's not that crazy, but we should make some more research, and so of course more due diligence. The location is good, I think, because it's close to the path of growth, as I showed you. So I think that will be a deal to consider, and to deep dive more and analyze more, to make a letter of intent or an offer. So what do you think, guys? Would you purchase this property? Would you what other kind of what other, maybe you live in Washington or know the area, what other areas would you invest in for a flexi space? Write your opinion in the comments. And also, thank you for watching me. Please, if you're watching me on YouTube or LinkedIn, subscribe to my LinkedIn page, or subscribe to my YouTube channel, or subscribe to both, and give me a thumbs up in YouTube. And also, if you want to invest in these properties, by the way, I'm a commercial real estate agent here in Dallas, Texas. So I can help you. Just give me a call. So just go to my website, www.thenearshoringguy.com, and then click on the contact tab, and then I can help you to buy a property, or maybe to sell a property. I am with EXP Commercial, so we have agents all over the US. So if you have a property in any state, I can for sure help you to sell that property. And if you want to invest in any state, I can for sure help you with the help of all the other agents on EXP Commercial. So thank you guys for watching the full video. See you on the next one.